What is up, guys? In this video, I will explain to you very quickly why you should use Advertorials in combination with Google Ads. It's a part of a three-part series in which I'll explain why you should use them, how you should actually do it, and then show you a real-life example. Now, quick background about myself. My name is Aaron Godby. I've been in the game for about 8 years now. I started as a Google contractor, left Google, started a boutique agency, Cyrus, started a D2C brand, LB24, which we scaled to 8 figures and still operate together with my partners. And I've been on the forefront of using Advertorials ever since they sort of seen a revival in the last few years. If you go online and you check all the big events like Affiliate World, etc., you will see a lot of my stuff, a lot of my talks about Advertorials and sort of pioneering this a little bit in the public eye, I would say. So many speeches I've done, many panels I've done internationally, in Germany, in Europe, wherever, and we've really been pushing this subject quite strongly. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why we've been doing that by just going back to the awareness stages that we all know. Okay, so the reason why Advertorials are interesting for Google Ads is because they resolve a blind spot that Google has developed, a problem that Google has developed. So if you look at the different awareness stages, most people advertise here, right? In the most aware stage, which makes sense because this is kind of unique to Google, how bottom, high intent you can go. So that is primarily a benefit. However, the problem is that it's been saturating so much, and the CPCs, like a currency, have been inflating that. 10 years ago, you could run an ad to, say, for example, buy creatine online and have a profitable CPA. Today, that is nearly impossible because the CPC has been driven so high to a level that you cannot compensate with AOV. You have to do it LTV. Over LTV, and that's just becoming less and less attractive to people. So that increase in CPC and that high competition has led to many D2C brands abandoning Google search or even treating Google in a very different way. Okay, so Advertorials and listicles allow us to offset that because I can go into higher awareness stages. I can go into the problem aware stage where someone's looking to resolve an issue, right? So for example, if you take the example of buy anti-aging cream and how to reduce wrinkles, this is basically in the same funnel but much higher, and this is going to be significantly cheaper, meaning if you have a good landing page that can convert this traffic, that decrease in CPC will mean that it's so much more profitable and it's so much more sustainable as well. That's fundamentally why you should use Advertorials and listicles. Further, more specifically, listicles, which work really well on Google, they happen primarily here in the solution aware and the product aware stage, and it just allows you to pick people up a stage before that when they're not in the very bottom of the funnel, and you can still do some convincing, and it's not a pure price war. So things like best keywords, or when people are in the process of making a choice, that is where listicles are phenomenal. Or when people are looking for competitors, right? It's going to be very difficult to convert competitor traffic. I would say 8 out of 10 or maybe 9 out of 10 cases, it's not successful. But with a good listicle, you can do it because you can highlight what that competitor is doing and what you're doing better. So overall, listicles and Advertorials just open up more opportunities that don't usually work with traditional Google Ads because of the awareness stages and because of the CPCs. And to give you an example right here, we got a comparison, okay? So most aware, where people run ads most of the time, best cream for wrinkles is about $2.40 in the US, whereas how to reduce wrinkles is $1.50, okay? Now, expected conversion rate, CVR, for this type of query will be around 2.5% straight to PDP on search, okay? And that's a good value, I would say, for search. Can go as high as 3, but this is really realistic. So with the AOV of 60, your CPA of 69, your ROAS will be 62%, and maybe your lifetime ROAS, if you get a few purchases out of that person, will be around 300%. So doable, but yeah, pretty much on the edge, I would say. If you convert this, it's very common for an advertorial or a listicle that works well to have a conversion rate of 5%. Very, very common. Ask anyone who's running it right now. It is, I know it's a high value, so to speak, for a conversion rate on Google, but this is totally realistic, and that changes everything. Sort of how these two numbers work together changes everything, because now your AOV is 60 still, but your CPA is 30. First purchase ROAS is 200%. Your lifetime ROAS is 1,000. This company will kick this company's butt, okay? And that's why people are using advertorials. Another reason why advertorials are really, really good is because high awareness stage keywords tend to have higher stability, greater stability in terms of search queries. So a few years ago, everyone was into these snail mucin creams, and you can see how that search volume went up and it went down again. Problem is the market is still here. There's a lot of people who came in here and they're still trying to make money. So not so good. Whereas high awareness stage stuff is just more stable because people have been looking to reduce wrinkles from the times of Cleopatra until now. So the volume is that much more stable. So once you're able to tap into it, it works for a very long time. Now, moving on to a bit more detail here. It builds a really good moat around your business. That's something you need to think about. I've built dozens, maybe hundreds of advertorials, and I've directed many, many more. And I see it time and time again. I've built that process in my own company. I've built it for other companies, and it takes such a long time if you haven't done it, right? First of all, you need to understand copywriting really, really well, and you need to understand your audience really, really well. So if you're not strong with direct response marketing, it will take a long time to get good at them. So I would say, if your competitor is the most sophisticated and strong direct response driven brand, it will take them minimum 4 to 6 weeks to nail the process. If they're not that, if they are that but they're busy, or they are not as knowledgeable in that area, it will take them significantly more time. I see big 8-figure brands telling me, Aaron, I want to start running Google advertorials and listicle. More time, it takes them over a year to start doing it. So it builds a huge moat around your business. All the failed tests you've done until you find what works. Your winning copy structure, the prompts, the copywriter, the tracking infrastructure, your media buyer understanding how to do it, compliance mastery, where to run the ads from, etc. I'm telling you guys, this is such a massive moat. And I see companies, small companies, taking on big brands, crushing them with listicles, and they're just lagging behind. Okay, so a massive moat that you add to your business, and also added enterprise value, right? One thing we need to think about when talking about advertorials is we are talking pure new customer acquisition. We're not talking retargeting. We're not talking God knows what. We are trying to daily print new customers, and it is so stable and it is so profitable. So this is an activity that has a direct impact on your enterprise value, because one crushing advertorial, if it generates 20 sales per day, if you scale up to 30 or 50 sales per day, and you've got 10 advertorials like that, just stacking up the numbers, all of those being profitable first purchases, you guys can see how that's going to affect your enterprise value quite significantly. And therefore, it is something that you should definitely consider doing. Now, in the next video, I will cover how to approach advertorials and listicles, how to do it. I hope this was useful for you guys. If you aren't running them yet and you're interested, hit me up. I can give you some advice on how to get something going within a week or two that's really going to move the needle. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, leave a like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate you guys.